But you know what COVID's brought out is how much we want to be a family.
Okay, remember you're staying 6 feet apart.
We're not. Wow, are these the rules you guys follow
I'm
at
just
your
gonna
house?
say it out loud. I know
These are what
everybody's
she
like
follows.
suspicious of me. Well, just please stop. I didn't make up these rules. Kody is not somebody to be run by one of his wives.
Is it on the table still?
This is a woman who hasn't heard us all say no.
I'm not gonna talk to you.
Hey guys, hey everyone, it's Katie. Okay, you guys, we got our teaser. Sister Wives teaser, Sister Wives teaser, Sister Wives teaser, and you guys, it's wild. Okay, I can't wait. I cannot wait. We are a month and like 9 days away from the first episode of Sister Wives, and I am dying for some Kody's perm, Robyn's crying, and Christine's freedom party, and Meri's poutiness, and all kinds of fighting. It's just, I can't wait. So the new teaser's out by by TLC. And first and foremost, I just want to say right off the bat, we're only going off of what's been cut together. And if we know anything about TLC, sometimes they will cut things and sort of take things out of context for dramatic effect. So I'm not quite clear about like all of this in terms of what the narrative is and whether that's true and what's fact and fiction. But the way that it's being posed is that the queen bee status of Robyn Brown is going to completely derail this family this year. Allegedly. Maybe. Okay, so here's how it goes. We're going to meet up with the Browns, and we're still in COVID. I mean, we're still literally in COVID right now. And it's the discussion of like how the families are doing things differently, okay? So remember how I said that Kody and Robyn are following the protocols that have been put in place by doctors. They're following the science and the backing of science and doing social distancing and just trying to minimize the exposure so that they stay healthy. And some of the wives, Christine and Janelle, are not really as keen on doing that and have not been following the same protocols, which has created a huge conflict with the family. We kind of saw that at the very end of last season. So when all of this is picking up, they're going over like the protocols, and Robyn is somehow taking heat for developing these and then trying to have like almost a little bit of a temper tantrum and saying like, I didn't make these.
Wow, are these the rules you guys follow
I'm
at
just
your
gonna
house?
say it out loud. I know
These are what
everybody's
she
like
follows.
suspicious of me. Well, just please stop. I didn't make up these rules.
And then Kody is like having a hissy fit because he's trying to pretend like he doesn't have a favorite wife and that he doesn't have one wife and he doesn't have like a queen wife, which is so bogus. If you look at the way that this whole family exists, you cannot tell me under any circumstances, I mean, my opinion, that he spends adequate time with anyone else but Robyn.
Are you the head of the family?
It's pissing me off. They're looking to Robyn like for some kind of approval. I don't have a head wife in this family.
He doesn't live with Meri. He and Christine basically hate each other, and he and Janelle, like, they're like basically platonic. Okay, back to this. So they're all like fighting about COVID, and then they start talking about the property, right? And again, Kody's like freaking out about how the property is, you know, they got to split it up, they got to make choices, and then Meri.
We're all getting together to discuss the lots on the property. Today is just to pretend. I don't want to move on the property. I want to move back to Utah.
So they're fighting over the property. And then it sounds like the basis of this entire season, like the foundation, the juicy tea in this season is going to revolve around Christine and Kody. And we already knew that. We knew how after it ended last season that this marriage was falling apart. And so in this season, Christine is going to, again, not want to move onto the property, act like she doesn't want to move on the property, say repeatedly that She doesn't know that Kody even wants to live all together. Maybe he just would rather live separately.
I don't know if Kody even wants to see everybody all together again. Maybe he's fine just living separate.
And then she again confronts him about wanting to move to Utah, and he again says no.
I would move to Utah in a heartbeat. Are you kidding me? Is it on the table still?
This is a woman who hasn't heard us all say no.
I'm not gonna talk to you. Why?
And she storms off again and starts crying. And then she basically asserts, why do I want to live on a property by Kody when I have a dysfunctional marriage with him, and then he has functional marriages, and then it shows Janelle and Robyn.
Why would I want to live on the same property with a dysfunctional marriage where right over there he's got a full functioning marriage?
Now, Janelle and Robyn, sure, yes, they have functional marriages to a degree, but I think the real issue here is Robyn, because no one in this family asserts herself to the same regard as anyone as Robyn. Robyn is the one that is constantly speaking for Kody, about Kody, acting like she is Kody. And Christine is still angry at Robyn about their relationship, and it's sort of, you know, it's like a 10-year argument. It's like a 10-year anger. It's like 10 years of, he picked you when I was pregnant with Truly, and my baby girl has constantly been getting third helpings from dad because of you, and you are still the number one, and you guys are still talking about having kids. And he's got a wife like Robyn who plays the martyr role and acts like, you know, she's giving everything to her kids and doing everything for Kody and not fighting with Kody. And it almost seems like Kody is starting to resent Robyn because of the fights that it's creating with the other women.
Who would ever want to live like that?
With the way that this season ends, I'm starting to wonder if the move that Christine is making right now means that she's actually leaving. Because yesterday, I said, well, you know, it's so weird. She's so involved with Janelle. She's spending so much time with Janelle. I can't imagine her leaving, because why would she leave if she's spending all this time with Janelle? And then I thought, well, maybe she's spending time with Janelle because she is leaving. Like, maybe it's a see you later party. Maybe it's like sayonara. Or maybe she's going to stay and just be miserable. This season, we are going to see the culmination of all of these years of Kody and Robyn's relationship dictating the other relationships. And we're seeing firsthand how disagreements in the pandemic are causing fractures in the family dynamic. It would be hard enough, and it is hard enough, to manage the complexities of the pandemic as a single family. Like my own family, we have our own guidelines and our own rules about how we handle the pandemic. We don't expect other people to live their lives the same way that we live our lives, and we don't have to demand people do that. We just don't see people. Kody doesn't have that same luxury because he's got 4 families, basically 3 families, not Meri. So he has to figure out navigating each women's family's decisions on how they're going to handle the pandemic. And Christine and Janelle don't take it as seriously. They're not taking it seriously. They're not. I mean, they're traveling, they're running around with the kids, they're living their lives, they're not staying home as much. And for Kody and Robyn, that's not acceptable, and that's their choice, and that's causing a huge conflict. And then if you already have a fractured marriage and you already have strains in your relationship, that's going to make everything worse. So COVID plays a huge role. And then when it comes to Meri, her relationship is completely going to come to a head too, because it sounds like Meri says she's exploring her options of leaving the family too.
I've heard like you say things, they question if I'm gonna stay. I've considered everything.
In the season header or the season teaser, it basically said that there was 2 wives that were debating their future with the family. And it sounds like it's Christine and Meri. So Janelle and them are all at the property, and Meri's upset because she says that she thinks that everyone thinks she's leaving. So they don't really take her opinions seriously because they don't think she's going to stay with the family. So if she's not exploring all of her options, and then Christine doesn't want to be around Robyn because of the functioning relationship and believes Robyn to be like the head bee in charge, and then Kody isn't liking the fact that Robyn is viewed this way, I wonder if friction is also going to start developing between Robyn and Kody. Like, Kody can like Robyn no matter how much he likes her, but if she starts creating fault or issues within the rest of the family, he can, that honeymoon phase that they've been in for 10 years can eventually wane. I mean, and this is a man that has added wives consistently throughout his marriage. He seemingly gets bored and at times has even looked for a fifth wife. You can't expect that Kody and Robyn are going to stay happy-go-lucky the entire time. So could Cody's relationship with Robyn also start to get fractured at some point because of the way and the weight of the stress of how Robyn and the dynamic with the women affects everything? Robyn's doing what she can do to get her kids to see their father, but I also think that Robyn's personality and her age works in her favor because she doesn't fight with Kody. And I think Christine is fed up and wants to leave and doesn't know how to leave because she grew up groomed into a cult. And Meri as well wants to leave, but also was grown up and groomed into a cult. And they don't know anything different. So with this season coming up, knowing that Sob and Robyn and the bossy pants of Robyn is going to cause conflict and maybe be the crux of a lot of the problems in the family, do you think that this could finally implode, or do you think this is just more drama? Do you think it's just all manufactured, or do you think that, I mean, I guess in the comments, tell me if you actually think any one of these women will ever leave Kody. Do you think anyone's going to leave, or do you think they'll stay as long as there's a show? Or do you think some have left and we just don't know it yet? Tell me what you're thinking about this, because I'm still very confused on my thoughts. One minute I'm like, Christine's gone. The next minute I'm like, no, she's not. She's still with Janelle. Christine's gone. No, she's not. Christine's gone. No, she's not. And then I talk to people that know them and they're like, Christine will never leave. Oh, they make these storylines up. Oh, you can't believe everything you see on TV. So I'm like, I don't know what to believe, you guys. I really don't know. I know her house sold. I know she's in California right now. I know that she was having problems with Kody and she literally just sold her house. I mean, what's that? All right, you guys, tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye.